Hi there. This video series is to display my problem solving and learning abilities. I plan to show that I can solve any programming problem, regardless of whether I already have expertise in a particular language. I hope this helps others in my field to learn not just how to solve a particular problem, but how to teach themselves a solution to an unfamiliar problem. Currently, I am learning Python. I have no professional experience in the language and have only been learning it since mid-January. My only formal training is completing the Python for Programmers course on Execute Program. While I'm picking Python up fairly quickly, I cannot claim any real expertise. Today, I'm showing my approach to solving the 22nd Project Euler problem from start to finish, vocalizing my thought process throughout. As always, I will link to both Project Euler and my repository in the description. Let's dive in. Name scores, problem 22, using names.txt, which I should have saved prior to starting recording. A 46K text file containing over 5,000 first names. Begin by sorting it into alphabetical order, then working out the alphabetical value for each name. Multiply this value by its alphabetical position in the list to obtain a name score. For example, when the list is sorted into alphabetical order, colon, which is worth 3 plus 15, etc., is the 938th name in the list, so colon would obtain a score of 938 by 53, which is this. What is the total of all the name scores in the file? So this is yet another situation where I think the fact that I'm using Python for this is going to serve me really, really well. Give me a second to make sure I have this file saved. So I'm just gonna copy all of this right now. Actually, real quick, I'm gonna do this version. And then here's our names.txt. As always, starting by making sure we have the problem statement up here in the file. Problem statement all set up, and then we need our first two lines here, and then our okay. So let's go ahead and open this. Okay, so it's gonna come in as one long string, because this, as far as Python is concerned, is one line. That makes our job slightly easier, I believe. So let's first work on pulling in this text file, and actually I should have left that open. So the first three names are Mary, Patricia, Linda. And what we're going to do is we're going to have names that is equal to an array. And that array is going to be input dot split based on a comma separator, just a comma. And then for right now, I'm just gonna print like the first three values of names, just so that we can like see whether we're also picking up those quotation marks, because we probably don't want those. Okay, so it's asking for input. And we don't want to get keyboard input, we want to open a file. So, Python open file. So, we need to do this instead. So f equals open 0022. This needs to be in quotation marks. R. And then instead of input, we use f.read. Okay, now let's see if that does what I expect it to do. Okay, so it is reading it in, but not the way that I want it to. And I think I can, like, just work my way around that by doing that. But, yeah, that didn't end up doing what I wanted it to do. So let's see. Let's do read line. Okay. What if I just do that? Okay, so now it's reading it in as one string, I think. Let's go ahead and just print names. Okay. Alright, so every single one of these has these quotation marks, and we kind of want it to not, so that we can ignore them. So what I am going to do is do like a list comprehension is what this is called. And try to strip off those double quotes and see what that gives me. Okay, so that looks more correct to me. And then, of course, it says first begin by sorting it into alphabetical order, which we can do by calling names.sort, because it's convenient. Looks like now we've got this nice big list all sorted. And then total is going to be 0. And position is equal to 1. Actually, I'm gonna remove this part so that I can do it down here. And then at the end of our program, we just want to print the total. So what we're gonna do is for name in names, name equals name dot strip. And then oh, right. So what I was actually going to do was create a little map for us, or, well, since this is Python, it'll actually be a dictionary. But, basically my idea was type out the values, but it occurs to me that I can do this slightly easier. Okay. I'm actually going to call this alphabet. Score is going to be I'm going to start it with 0. And then for a letter in name, score plus equals, I believe I can do index letter. And what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to put a space to take up the index of 0 so that this will be the correct indexes without having to do plus and minus 1 and stuff. Okay, and then score is equal to score times position. Or instead of doing that, I can just do total plus equals score times position. And then position plus equal 1. And that should actually give us the correct answer. Let's see if I'm correct. And as you can see, it ran in like 1/100th of a second, if that. Okay, so correct answer. And there's not a document associated with this one with like a different algorithm, I'm gonna say. So let's see. So I've done some stuff here that is pretty straightforward, I think. Basically, it says we have all these names, read it and begin it. Read in the names from the file, sort it alphabetically, work out the value, multiply by the position, total up all of those scores. So we created this little alphabet starting with a space so that we could have A be at index 1. And we read the file. This could probably be done in a single line, but I am going to leave it as, or well, I actually don't need this line because we're doing that part right there. So we read in the file. There should really be an f.close here. We read in the file, so we have an array of all the names. We then sort the array. We then strip out the quotation marks on every name. We go through the names, we strip off the quotation marks, we look at every letter, we get it, the index from our little string here, add it all up, multiply that score by the position, add that to the total, and then print out the total. So, like I said, relatively straightforward. Let's double check that we still get the same answer. Yep, after removing that one line. So yeah, that's it. Pretty simple. I'll see you in the next one.